はい、こんにちは。今回はハーストーリー続きをやっていきます。で、前回ですね、この人、名前忘れちゃったよ。
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work, mirror making, feature windows, artistic things, really beautiful things.
この人が、実は、双子なのではないかと。という、疑問に思い当たって、検索したところ、双子のようだなということが分かったんですね。で、どうもその、双子の、どちらかが今一番最初に証言していたサイモン・スミスという人を、殺したんじゃないかというような状況なんですが、この、DB チェッカーにまだだいぶ空きがあるんですね。これ細かく緑で埋まっているところが見ていった、動画のところなんですよね。で、これはもうすでに見た動画ですが、今謎として残っているのは、なぜこの確かイブとなんとかだったと思いますが、イブっていう女性がサイモンっていう人を殺したのか、その動機と、その経過、そして一番わからないのは今プレイヤーとしてこの動かしているこの人ですよね。私は誰なのかということですね。それがわかりません。はい、新しい動画を見つけるとこのように、目印マークがつくんですが、で、日にちが違って、こっちの方が前だと思いますね。再生してみましょうか。飲んでいるものがね、なんか水飲んでる時とコーヒーか紅茶を飲んでる時があるんですよ。それでイブともう一人の区別がつくのかなと思うんですが。
No one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago. Someone summoned you from the rock.
これは事件のどこかの一部の証言ですね。
No, I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
コーヒーは十分、水をちょうだいって言ってるんですね。で、髪型が違うんですよね。それと服装の好みも違うんですよね。いろいろキーワードを入れていくと見ることができます。
When will the police let me back in the house? They let me take a bag of clothes with me, but...
これはおそらく、ちょっと待ってください。最初、サイモンが、 行方不明だって言って警察に来て、でその後、遺体が発見されたのかどうなのかちょっとはっきりしない。まあ多分発見されたんだと思いますが、で捜査に入っているので家に帰れないんだと思うんですね。そういう話をしているんだと思います。
Look, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it by hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. It's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror and he gave it to me.
何か証拠を提示されてますね。それがなんだかわかりませんが、これはだいぶ後半ですね。
Hannah was so smitten with Simon.
ああ、花だ。
She started getting jealous. Didn't
花
want
は
to share.
バーに
Even the first date.
勤めてた
We
人
went
が
to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went. Kept changing places in the
あ
toilet.
あ
We only had one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me. But that was it. We didn't want another card on our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back. After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him. I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
なるほど。僕一つ、ちょっと違う疑問を持ってるんですが、それはちょっとどうだかわからないので、まあ後で話しましょ
う。Yes, it was a cremation for the best. We both wore black and had veils, so it was easy.
ああ、これは漁師について
After
話
the
して
funeral,
ます
everyone
ね。
came back to the house. Hannah served up sandwiches, and I stayed out of sight.
多分両親が死んだ時のことだと思いますね。
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present, another mirror, just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
おっと、何らかの確信に触れるとこのように、少し画面が暗くなって音楽が流れ始めるようなんですが、今は、犯行の時の様子を語ったようですよね。
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
姫様っていうキーワードも何度か出てくるんですよね。
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since.
話が食い違ってるんですね。
Bruce? Oh, yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen and the chair slipped and I kind of hit the door with my face. It hurt like hell.
なんであざができたのかもよく分かってないんですが、これはもう事件後なので。
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull out Hannah's to match. Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. But she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snapped a frozen piece up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronised anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits. Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush.
Odd.
I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses.
なるほど。
After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity. It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush. After that, we took it in turns, though I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
Hi. 今まで殺人とかサイモンとか調べてきましたが、そう嘘発見器にかけてるんですよね。嘘発見器は多分はいといいえしか言えないんですよね。これ検索の方法がいろいろあるんですが、これでとりあえず見てみましょうか。
He was wearing a shirt, a blue
指輪を
turtleneck
してま
shirt
すね。
and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
赤い服を着ている人、青い服を着ている 人。でもなんかあんまり統一感がないんだよな。この時はこっちでは水を飲んでいて、こっちではコーヒーかなんかですかね。
I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us, there's always been pressure.
うん。
I wasn't in the house.
これひらがなではいなかったの。はいの部分に引っかかってますね。
I think so. I mean, to get into our garden, we'd have to climb through other gardens. All the gardens back onto each other, so you'd have to climb over 1, 2, 3 gardens to get to ours. I mean, did anyone see anything? Did anyone see anyone come and go? An intruder?
ここでは嘘発見器のあたりの嘘発見器でどういう質問をされてどういうふうに答えてるかを見たいんですけど。
No. I'm not sure what strange would be, but he hasn't been acting odd. He's been busy at work, but nothing too stressful. No. I mean, everyone loves Simon. He was so nice to everyone. He loves me. 'No. The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen, you can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours.
今のは遺体発見時の様子を語ってますね。
I didn't. I slept in the car. I left about 9 that night. I wasn't there.
これ検索方法がありまして、このダブルコーテーションで区切ると言葉をもうちょっと絞り込めるんですが、はい、これですね、見たかったのは。
No.
いいえしか言ってません。
No.
これ質問がわかんないんですよね。
No.
あらゆる質問にノーって言ってますね。これもはいだけなんでしょうね。
Yes.
何の質問してんでしょうかね。
Yes.
これじゃ全然わかりませんね。
Yes. Yes.
さあ結構埋まってきましたよ。はいはい。双子って指紋は違いますよね。
Fine. I've never had my fingerprints taken before. I once put my hand on the oven.
あ、やけどの跡。
Fingerprints.
まあ指紋はでも、まあ凶器が見つからなければ。
Yes. Yeah. I would have cleaned them. I changed the sheets too. With the fingerprints in all those places.
指紋がいっぱいついてた。
Could they have been my parents' fingerprints? I'm not sure how long they last for, but is that possible? Really? Go on then. Take the cup. Run your fingerprints. They'll match. Fucking idiot.
指紋では多分どっちがどうってことは言えないですよね。凶器は調べたんだよな。
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there.
ダイアン。
It's Rapunzel.
ラプン
The
ツェ
story
ル。
starts when she's born.
ラプンツェルの話もな
Mother
んか
Gothel, a
よ
witch,
くする。
takes Rapunzel from her
そうかそうか。
parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she
Right.
cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind, but she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
ラプンツェルの話をしているのは、そのイブとハナが一人の人間として振る舞っているので、主に確かイブが、2階屋根裏に隠れていたんですよね。でその状態を自分になぞらえてラプンツェルの話をしているんじゃないでしょうかね。
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour? Yes. I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories.
屋根裏、人形。おっと。
I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it, and they wouldn't have had the money to buy it, was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights. Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
なるほどな。
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty, pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper, undressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger. Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again?
ハード。
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one.
まだこの辺の確信に至るところに触れていないのかな。これはもう検索したかもしれませんね。服装が違うんですよね。
Like I said, I think I was popping out to get something, ran out of something, had to grab something. I sometimes drive too fast. If you want, you can arrest me for that. When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car. It's like I told you before, I drove. I took the car and drove. I don't have my own car, but I have a spare set of keys. I just drove north. I wanted to think, put some space between me and them. Everything I told you before is true. I stopped at Glasgow. I was tired, exhausted. I pulled out and I hit a car. My car was okay, but I was worried about the baby, so I went to A&E to get the okay. Everything was fine. Slept in the car. When I woke, I tried to call Hannah from a payphone. She wasn't answering. And then I decided to drive back. I had decided that she was more important to me than Simon. I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. You've spoken with the hospital. Ask the hospital. No, they were shut. Most of the windows were really hard to open anyway. It's stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. There's a cat flap in the back door.
猫用の入り口。猫の話もたまに出てくるんですね。
We loved our cat, Domino. He had this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. And we used to write each other notes and put them in the bell, and we could send them to each other. Mum found some of the notes once, and she thought I was just writing to myself because our handwriting was identical. And we had our own words for things, so she didn't quite understand them anyway. When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book, the knock code, something prisoners of war would use. We'd tap them out on radiator pipes or the attic floor. Dad thought we had mice, but they couldn't find any. Bought a cat anyway.
それで猫飼ったのか。どうもこの前回はこれタップしてるのとモールス信号じゃないんじゃないかって言ったんですけど、まあモールス信号っぽいですよね。
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything.
タトゥーがあります、
Have you looked at the cat flap?
あ、何これ。ちょっと待って。
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip.
傷
Covers
があ
up with some glass.
る。ガラスで切った。
A long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off with the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
なんかチャットって出てきたんですけど、これ何でしょうかね。あれ、
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality.
何のタ
It's
ト
an
ゥ
apple and a snake.
ー？イブってこと？アップルとスネークはイブですよね。
So I moved out. Got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings, so I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist.
うん。
He saw me singing one of my shows, pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He saw me singing one of my shows, pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
これ今サイモンとの話じゃないですよね。別の男と出会ったっていう話をしたんじゃないかな。これ、あら、SB、どんな感じだった？終わったのか？終わった？了解。じゃあ終わったら教えてくれ。SB って誰？SB？ ちょっと待ってください。じゃない。エリックかな。まあ、浮気のビデオも見ていいんですけど。
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to
違う
conferences.
か。
Have you met his wife, Diane? crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay, because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine.
だから問題ないって言ってるな。つまり自分のことを言ってますよね。これは、だから、イブかエマかどっちかわかんないですけども、浮気を目撃されたんじゃないですか？
An affair. Simon wasn't
Affair.
having an affair. No, I have never been unfaithful. I've never cheated on Simon.
うん。
Have I ever cheated on Simon? You asked that question yesterday.
あら？
Simon never cheated on me. He was devoted to me, and I was devoted to him. Nothing in life is easy. We were good to each other. Life isn't a fairy tale. You do what you can.
ちょっと謎がまあ、このチャットに関しては、この今調べている人が誰かっていうことに近づける可能性がありますよね。ここに入れらんないんだな。向こうからかけてくるしかないんだな。終わってないって言っちゃったからな。終わったって言えばよかった。これはもう見たんですね。あとはなんだろうな。まあ犯人が呼ぶのは弁護士ですよね。
Can I leave? Are you going to arrest me? No. They'd laugh you out of the building. A lawyer would make mincemeat of you.
もう怒ってるな。
Yes, I understand my rights. No, I don't need a lawyer.
まあこの時にはもう逮捕されるっていうのを覚悟しているってことなんでしょうが。
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person. What did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
愛してたんですかね。
No. Everyone loved Simon. He's a glazier. He doesn't have much money. I don't know. I don't know.
うーん。まあ、情報整理すれば もう少し探りを入れられるのかもしれませんが、まだ少し重要な部分が欠けている。特に後半この辺見てないんですよね。何か重要なことを見逃しているような気がするんですが、まあこれ根本的な問題として、これ、まあチャットが来て誰かが見ているってことで、まあ、なんて言うんでしょうかね。こう今プレイヤーとしてやっている人が誰なのかわからないっていう問題がありますけれども、まあ誰が話しかけてきているのかもわからない。えーっと、まあ誰かって、いや多分ですね、SB ですよね。えこれ作者サイモン・バーローさんなんですよ。で、まあ、プレイヤーに対してもう満足したかっていうことなのかもしれませんし、まあ、このゲーム内の物語として、もう十分楽しんだっていうふうに聞いてきたのかもしれませんが、ただ僕は一つ、疑問に思うのは、まあ、うーんと、例えば、まあ、これ、イブと、あれもう一人、アナなんだっけだとして、一人が、まあ、詳しくは、前の動画を見てもらったらわかると思うんですけれども、これ一応見とくか。要はですね、片方がいないものとして育てられたっていうことなんですよ。どっちだかわかんないですが、その場合ですね、その人戸籍がないんですよ。で、そういう人がどうなるんでしょうかね。殺人を犯した場合。
We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full time at the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby if it came.
うー
It was a
ん。
nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope.
ちょっと迷うところですが、狂言の可能性もありますよね。この、このゲームは、と、非常にハーストーリーっていうタイトルですが、彼女の、まあ、語る話っていうこともあるんでしょうけど、彼女の話っていう意味ですけどね、直訳すると。ただ、お話、作り話ってこともあるんですよね。だから、サイモンの死が事実なのかどうかもよくわかりませんが、これ、彼女の言っていることしか見られないので。しかし、そもそももともと一人しかいなくて、二人の人を演じているとか、あるいは多重人格を演じているとか、そういうことはないんでしょうかね。タトゥーがない人が出てくればいいんですけど、この人タトゥーないのかな
Then my
あるの
parents
かな
died.
ないです
It
ね。
was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then
しかしあのタトゥ
my
ーは、
parents.
実際はメイクですよね。この撮影をするときには、タトゥーは入れないわけですから。それはフェイクの可能性があるわけですよ。となると、うーん ちょっとこれは考えすぎかもしれませんけれども、うーん、まあ全部フェイクなんじゃないですかね。で、これ、まあ、わかりやすく言えばですよ。これ何年だっけ？94年だからこういうパソコンだと思ってたんですけど、そうじゃなくて、えーっと、Y2K って書いてるんですよね。だからこれ見てるのは、まあ、2000年以降で、これ SB ってここにも書いてあるな。これ今見ているのは正確にいつなのかちょっと僕は把握してないですけれども、まあ妊娠していた子供が助かったとして、その子供が、え大人になって、まあ自分の母親がどうしているのかっていうのを、え体験するお話というのは成立すると思うんですけれども、しかしそのイブイブかもう一人が生きているのか死んでいるのか、まあもう片方二人同時に出てくることもないし、うーん、二人とも妊娠してたような気がするんですけどね。なんかちょっとよくわからなくなってきましたけどね。はい。ということで、まあなんかちょっと展開がありましたよ。この SB から、チャットが来て、うん。事件の方の真相には迫っていないんですが、このゲームに関しては少し謎分かりつつあるんじゃないでしょうかね。サウスイーストコンティチューダビティ。はい。ということで、今回はここまでにしておきましょう。ハーストーリー、全く探偵していませんが、まあ、物語を構築していく方法を考えていくと、まあ、大体分かっちゃうんですが、しかし、どの設定でどうプレイしているのかを解き明かすために何を入れていいのか、ちょっと今、迷っていますね。はい。面白いですね。途中ちょっと音声トラブルがありましたが、その辺はご了承ください。はい。なるべく全部解明したいですが、まだキーワードがわからないので、その辺ちょっと考えてからまたプレイしたいと思います。はい。では今回はここまでにしておきます。それじゃあまた。